Hey guys, it's me. Going to show you some really good facts here and changes. So try really hard to pay attention. There was a noise there a moment ago too, if you heard it. It'll be a little bit of a pause and go where I'm going to talk a little bit, and then I'm going to pause and then go to another spot. See that? It just brought me over. What they've done there is they've completed holes, and then with their grouting, they have refilled the holes. Trust me, just go with this for a little bit. I never see pocking on these things, and pocking is starting to happen. You see that, where they just make air pockets, and they do that a lot on building foundations and so on and so forth. On these things, they don't do it a lot. I think these things are heavily duty vibrated, and they're really got a really fine settlement everywhere on the outside of them very well, generally. Okay, so we're going to go right here. And we're going to realize that this is all getting worse. Okay? This is very good galvanized stuff. I've been filming this, and we've been watching it deteriorate in a bad way. We've talked a lot about the scratching and stuff that goes on. Okay? Now for a quickie, we get to jump over to this side, and we get to see scratching also right there, where it's deeper through the... This is a sprayed-on galvanized where they've done a weld job. It's not near as good as quality as this galvanizing, okay? This is just a spray-on or brush-on or whatever type thing. These guys come in here, they don't have a problem doing that kind of scratching because it does look similar to the brushing. They wear it through, okay? But I noticed this yellow all on this side. Okay, you notice that yellow a little bit? And then on that pan, really, the reflector there very well. And then you look on this side, and it's not as heavy. So then it makes you think that, okay, vehicles going this way, and their blow-by is just coming up off the road and going onto here. But where was it? Yeah, it was that mark right there. Was my test mark of rubbing it and smelling it. And I did another spot up here somewhere or whatever too, first. And when I did that first one, I thought to myself, that smells like concrete. So this is concrete that is scraped off here that I talk about. Okay? And then these other colors are brought in here. Confusion for us and stuff. They look like algae and stuff. I've talked, and they probably are. Like I've even gotten into where they pit these out. They fill them up. And they put this, it's almost like they're trying a little bit of their own formulas. And I talk about that stuff, guys. They do formulas and stuff. Like, they're doing stuff. So anyways, I've been really listening to this concrete today. And it's worrying me with the noises that it puts out. So look at the railing. Realize this is all being just... Here, let me get in there nice and close for you. I know you probably want to see some other stuff, but look at that other stuff on another video or something, okay? So if we go like this, and you really looked really finely in there. I can't see very good, but you're just going to see lots of scratching and stuff. Like, I don't see the camera very well, is what I'm meaning. And that is the tiny, 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 tiny claws. Okay? Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk about again was the breakdown they can do on this galvanized. So it's done by an electric process. So basically what you're doing is you're just taking this raw steel that's cleaned up however they clean it up and stuff, and then they dip it in this great big vat that has the galvanizing metals in it, and it's electrically hooked up, and they electrically hook up to this and stuff. And when they dunk it in there and then bring it back out, it has done electrical process that have brought all these really good metal products that are really good at protecting the steel out, and it makes it bind to the surface of the steel very well. And what these guys have also done, because you got to be careful that you can catch your skin and cut yourself on a lot of these things here. And you might just think it's part of the process in the galvanizing, because it can happen. It legitimately can happen, I believe. Look at that too, eh? Claw marks right there. Wasn't even noticing those guys. So there's a good thing for you to see right there. Some people will think about it and they'll go, holy cow, I think I see 4 of them, and maybe starting at the same spot but ending at a different spot if the release was the same time, because our hands would do that too, because it's a reflection of different length fingers. So that galvanizing process can be mucked with, and we're going to walk along here and we're going to see a spot where they've done a good collection, and there we go, and all the scratching and stuff has gone on. So remember, I think there's something about these guys that are energized in an electrical fashion or something, where I believe they have an ability with heat, they have an ability with the glowing phenomenon that's going on. I was with a buddy of mine's, sort of a little bit of a hangout guy. He's older and stuff, and he's actually done bigfooting, and he's knowing some of the big names and everything. But anyways, we were talking, and he was telling me about some kind of on a show or something. I'm not really sure actually, about a UFO thing and going on and such like that. And you could tell he was just kind of right into it and such. And I asked him if was there glowing light energy involved, and he said, yeah. Mingo. It's just these guys, and that's part of their phenomenon, is that kind of thing. So anyways, we get in close here, and it looks like we can kind of see some work going on there, details, right? And like I said, like if they have an electrical, where was my finger? Okay. So if they have an electrical ability of really bringing that out of themselves, and they go along here and they got their heat on or whatever type thing, and this stuff kind of reacts by spreading away from it in a way. And yeah, that could be part of how they do this, a little accumulation. There's a better one over here. Let's go take one more look for the looky loser hanging out with me still. Thanks for still being here, you info seekers. And you might be noticing a lot of cracks along that here and stuff like that, along this all this and stuff, and that's all part of it. And if you look at this, you can maybe, I hope, see as well as me a contamination looking process. See that, guys? And it would worry me, because there's a lot of bridges coming down. Like I said, Trump is throwing in $2 trillion to fix up his roads, and he thinks it's just because 20 years of neglect. 20 years of neglect on concrete? Are you kidding me? On steel? Are you kidding me? No, somebody's mucking with it. That's the truth of the story. And we just want to figure out who's mucking with it, don't we? I know I do. Another car's coming. A couple of geese, really nice, came in like that trail there. I was kind of wishing I had, whatever, my hand was following it, but I'm trying to get it to zoom right now. And yeah, so I'll just make some hand motions and stuff, because I wanted to get this corner here too. So they came and they kind of, and then landed right over and about there and stuff. Maybe about there. So on this side, they were probably somewhere where they came in and they went like that. Let me just make sure I'm focused here. And there was 2 of them. So they came in like that, and they landed in a... It's pretty cool. It's too bad, because look what's going on there. All that buildup. Because they're going to put in another frickin' warehouse. Take more and more land away from these poor buggers. And their numbers change along with them losing land that they really occupy. And I think a lot of people might pick that up from this video here, that they really do occupy it. It's not a matter of following me from one side of town to the other side of town and they're all happen to be here as quick as I get here. For the people who have registered numbers on my other videos. Because I'm the number guy. I'm the numbers guy. And I'm the guy who says Earth beings instead of Bigfoot. And we're in Earth beings, guys. Right? Beautiful with the swallows, eh? It's really making the picture nice. Let me try walking this. We'll do a pause and play if you want. Slow motion on your YouTube. You should be able to do also. Lots of people will do screenshots and stuff. I do a little stop for a moment here. Nice different angle. I'm doing a heavy look around with my own eyes for the swallows. Must have been a nice swarm of bugs that they picked up on over here. I just seen a little fly. Went into excited mode look on my face. And upon examining, I realized it wasn't a swallow. But I'm ready always to do facials and stuff for these guys and really try to put myself away from them. And I think we probably got some women coming. I'm just going to do a check. Yeah. They're going off the sidewalk though, so. So this is the spot where the geese came and landed right down in there. And we've come just much closer to it, right? Yeah. I'm going to do a pause and then go a little closer again. Even this empty light standard that's in the middle of this walkway here, finally they've loosened those off. And I think it's probably even gone to the point of being opened once. I'm not too sure, but it's getting ready to be fully inspected for understanding, I guess. Unless some kind of a thief was out here thinking he could pull some wire out of it. So still, once again, we're at one more spot of a little bit closerness to where the geese landed that you never even got to see, but I'm using as a tool for my mind for talking about every time. I could be telling you guys other things, but you can always ask me other things too, right? Take people a long time to fully grasp my words as being very truthful, pretty darn accurate, and onto something that we just need to know about. It doesn't continue being something about me. So get that better than you might, get that understanding that it's not about me, guys. It's not about a skill. It's not about being the best. It's about, a lot of the people who are watching will never set foot out here, but they want to know. They want to know for their grandchildren, stuff like that. They want to know information so they can start alerting their family or whatever, and I'm doing that for them. And I ain't going to be lying to them, man. You got the wrong guy if you think that. That's skill lying to bring up the story that I have brought up. And no, I was never known to be much for BSing or anything like that, because I could work around BS. One way I did it was, I'm kind of a nutty guy in a way, so I just tell the truth. When it was just involvement of myself or whatever, and you maybe leave facts out or whatever, and that's when I've just been known to be a bit wild and stuff. And so in some degree, I think that affects my family, that they think, okay, conch on the head, bad tinnitus and hyperacusis and stuff, a broken marriage, he must have went insane. Meanwhile, I probably have one of the best divorce relationships out there. Some people who end up being best friends with their divorcee and so on and so forth, and have them over with all their family things forever and stuff, they will disagree with me because we never went that way. But we full out respect which either's times with the children, and never have qualms really with each other's relationships with the children and stuff. And my 4 children have 4 different personalities. No getting around that. So it's not like you're copying stuff with all of them. You gotta have kind of all your independence of understanding and subjects and reasonings and disciplines. But they're all decent people. So however we did it worked out fine. Alrighty. How about we give a shot the other way of the river? Not that it's the river. More of a sloughy thing off of the river. You can hear them back there. You hear that? Sounds like wind. I noticed they slowed down in it because I turned around. So just before I paused and stuff, the camera was pointing the other way, but it might have been picking up on the noise well. Might just be all from that evergreen right there. Their vocalization part of it, when it becomes like the wind and stuff, and car swales or noises and stuff like that, we can break through it. We can figure it out. You can hear it, you can understand it, you get to test them, you get to tease them and stuff. You learn that in your skills, and I have skills to be able to do that kind of stuff. And so I'm really aware of when I don't even you know, I just kind of know their reputation. Because there is a highway back there. Because look at, choink, but look at the amount of cars and stuff. Okay, so we're not hearing individualness, if you notice. You might. Will they do that? Heck yeah, they understand making motorcycle noises and stuff, and almost to the extent of, you know, where you're getting gear change out of them and stuff like that, and hopped up cars a lot. I like to do like almost a startup of a hopped up car, and then you don't hear it again after that. It's kind of funny. Different cultures though, different areas will act different ways. Like in this area here, these guys maybe don't ever really do car revs. Where I live doesn't mean these guys are all coming over there every night, because the truth of it is I can drive anywheres up in that hill there, side there, and I find them everywhere. Like, we're surrounded, guys, here, and all that tree work I've talked about a lot around there, and it's come into a new look for sure. And right here with that zigzagginess, what we're seeing is we're starting to notice that the leaving trees are going to get closer to the size of those and stuff, because I believe those things were towering quite a bit more than they seem to be now. They don't seem to be so striking this year. They really seem to prefer the leaved trees, though. It's got to be part of their diet system, especially the little guys, I would imagine. And like I said, it's an imagining, it's kind of figuring. I've seen a lot of details of stuff, but doesn't mean I'm going to be able to, on all that detailing, say yeah. But I can tell lots of starts of things, and you know, where starting points for anybody. Like, you could describe your area, or I could go, like somebody was on my channel, they said they were from Kandahar, so Kaz is the name. So I went and brought up Kandahar and was looking at the valley systems around there and stuff like that, and I would be able to give Kaz some interpretation of their land and